Daddies. Daddies.
Welcome back to another week with
Recording.
Death Metal Daddies. My name is Jeff.
I am Silas.
And yeah, like I said, we're back. Another week, another new playlist,
Yep.
new music. Got a
No.
album ranking we gotta do. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
gonna be terrible.
yeah,
Everything about this episode's gonna be horrible.
absolutely. It's just, 2025. That's how it is now.
Yeah, I know. The Bills let everyone down.
Yep.
It's crazy,
Yep.
but you know, I mean, I don't know. Is what it is, I guess. Or,
Yep. And the Eagles aren't gonna win, so I guess I have to live in a world with the three-peat Chiefs.
oh, I'm just joking. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great 2 weeks.
Nope. I'm probably not gonna watch. Because let's face it, we
Really?
know they're going to win. They're
You're
not
not
going to.
tuning in? Ah,
No, they're going to win.
Are you?
We all know this.
Are you? Are you becoming a flat earther?
No,
Do you think that the NFL is rigged?
the Bills were the best chance at beating them.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. I mean, it's crazy, man. I think it was a really good competition. Um, and there's a lot of bitching going on about the refs and the calling and like, you know what? Look, there's penalties on both sides. And I think that if you're going to try to do the tush push, you should try to execute it like a tush push and go straight, not flank to the left and do this whole spinning jig maneuver because that's what effed him up on that fourth down conversion.
Yeah,
And
you shouldn't do it every time. You should
yeah,
go the main purpose of the thing, of the tush push initially, and then you do every now and then do that flank thing to throw people off.
yeah.
Don't
I
just
mean,
do the flank.
the one team that does it like flawlessly every time is the Eagles, and they do it over and over, and it's so annoying watching them because it's like no matter what, like no team stops them. And then like the last game against the what Commanders, yeah, you had that guy that like kept, I don't know if you watched that one, but he kept
Yeah,
jumping
like
over the
four
line.
times in a row. And the refs
Yeah.
even said if he does it again, we're gonna score. We're just gonna give Eagles a score, which I didn't know they
Yeah.
could do.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, commentators were apparently saying that's actually a legal rule or something. So, yeah, crazy though. But I mean, like, that guy had the right idea. If he could time that perfectly whenever
Hmm.
they hike the ball, I mean, he was making it to where it looked like it could be like almost picked off, or something like that. So, not a
Yeah,
bad idea, but just trying to time that, good luck. You're gonna do exactly what happened, which is get offsides on that more times than not. It's just like, damn, I hate that move though. Watching the Eagles do that is just, oh, it's excruciating. It makes me so mad. But other teams like, Bills, I think they get like two a game, but they just can't drill it like the Eagles do. And then that shit just happens. So, and I also think that, Josh Allen's confidence just like I think their nerves were just like shocked. Like they just didn't seem like the confident Bills that I've seen them with other teams, and I think that's just it. It was
yeah,
all the hype about playing the Chiefs. And so I think it just got to him, man. But people are like, fire McDermott, fire blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't even know if I'd go that far. I mean, McDermott's got him to the championship.
yeah.
That's saying something.
I've also seen stuff where Josh Allen needs to leave Buffalo and stuff like that because they're the ones who holding him back and stuff like that.
Uh, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I mean, I think he's in a great spot. I think they need some key receivers again. You know,
Yeah, and maybe
help them out
also
on big
works
plays
on
downfield.
defense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, anyways, yeah, it's been an exciting week, I think, in NFL. But yeah, if you hate the Chiefs, then you're probably hating life right now. So,
yes, absolutely. But yeah, how's your week been?
Oh, pretty good, man. Um, I decided to bite the bullet. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a lot of money into this truck to get it cosmetically repaired because now my brakes are going out, and so I have to repair my brakes. And because like I one night I heard disc grinding, and then I don't know if I brought this up or not on here, so I guess just cut it out if I have. I can't remember, but so one night I was driving hunting and I stopped and I had all this smoke coming from like my back tire area. I was like, "Oh fuck, that's not right." And it felt like my accelerator was like really hard, like really sluggish. And so I told Dalton that, and he's just like, "Sounds like your brakes locked up, like your disc is locking up." And it's like, "Oh no, dude." So I explained it to the guys at O'Reilly. They're like, "Yeah, your brakes are shot." And they're like, "You're probably ruined the drum too if you had smoke coming from back there." I was like, "Yeah, I did." Like no fire, thankfully, but it was definitely smoky one day. And so told them that, and they rang up some bills for me, depending on, I guess there's a 9-inch drum, 10-inch drum, depending on which one that is, changes the cost a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and repair that. And I figured if I'm doing that, man, I might as well. I'm just gonna keep it. I'm just gonna ride with it and just repair shit as it goes, I guess. Because yeah, it's a lot of money, but it's cheaper than dropping another 10 grand, on a decent truck. I mean, yeah, that I'd probably save myself some time with not having to work on it as much as this one, but whatever. It's a project truck,
I
so
gotcha.
fun, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you had the cosmetic issue. Don't you have a head gasket issue as well?
No, see, that pretty much got fixed whenever I blew the last motor. So I was having those overheating issues with the last motor, and then me and Sammy went to that concert in Kansas City, and on our way back, I was doing like 80 on the highway, blasting AC all the way, and I just hear this ding, 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 and yeah, that's when I blew it. So I blew that motor, and so whenever the motor got swapped, it was all new gaskets and everything like that, and different motor. So I haven't had any overheating issues, and this one even seems like it drives better. And the guy that replaced it, he's like, "Dude, I don't know how this truck was running." He's like, "There was so much like solid gunk at the bottom of that thing. It's like it like wasn't even liquefied." It was like, "Wow."
So,
So
no, it's up. It's on my bedside. So it sounds like, unless you did it, it sounds like that guy knew it had a head gasket issue and was doing what I was doing with my F-150 and just kept putting sealant stuff in it. It's like this
probably.
head gasket sealer. You pour it into the radiator and it's supposed to like seal stuff. But it sounds like he
Mm,
just did it he just kept on doing it.
could very well be. Yeah, I mean, I think this dude let this truck just sit in the yard forever, and I think, he said that it was basically he used it as a farm truck and work truck for a while, but he let his daughter use it. She ditched it, and then yeah, I think it just sat, man, because like that old radiator, dude, it was like cakey chalk, like rusty shit in the like not even liquid. It was like dry. I was like, what the hell, dude? I've never seen a radiator like this, and yeah, that's symptoms of like overheating and, basically it looked like he had just taken straight tap water and put it into the cooling system. And they say that's what actually creates the rust is the tap water from, just like a faucet.
Hmm.
If you use distilled, I think that you won't really have those problems, but I don't know that 100% or not. That's just what I looked up. But so yeah, man. I mean, I've replaced the radiator, water pump, heater core. This will be new brakes now, tie rods, ball joints. I think that's what they're called. Quite a bit of shit, man. And after this cosmetic work, it's like I'm basically working towards a new '99 Ford Ranger. So whatever, it'll look cool. Should run good.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, for me, not a lot new. We had a family date, I think Friday, Saturday. Went down
Sweet.
to whatchamacallit? Dogwood Canyon. Thank you.
Oh,
Dogwood
cool.
Canyon. Never been there before. Great
Yeah.
place. I really
Nice,
enjoyed
man.
that.
Yeah.
Let the kids
That
ride
place
their
is
bikes
cool.
around. Yeah, never been. It's very cool. They even had
Yeah.
a exhibit going on when we walked in, bald eagle showing. It's an actual a handler and a bald eagle. Got to
Oh,
see
cool.
that, so that was cool.
That's
Um,
awesome.
Started my new job yesterday. That's been
Oh,
good.
awesome. How's nice. Cool. Are you doing like an
The,
orientation thing, or you pretty much know what you're doing?
not really an orientation. We don't really do that. It's more of I'm just sitting there waiting until my all my accesses go through, access request stuff, and then slowly rolling into my duties. Like I've already started on some things, um, but slowly and easing into it. But drive's
That's
been
awesome,
nice.
dude.
Past 2 days I've even been getting late out late a little bit, just because something's come up at like 15 minutes before I'm supposed to leave. So I try to finish that out. I'll leave 30 minutes later than I normally do, but still get home like 45 minutes before normal. So it's it's been good. Good on the fan.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome, dude. Dogwood Canyon, I had a thought like, I love that place too, and we've been there a couple times, but do you think it's a little steep
Yes.
for what it
Yeah,
is? I mean, I
yeah.
was like, damn. I've never done like I think you can do like a hayride or something like that, or like a tram to go see buffalo. Have you done that? I haven't done that.
No, this is we only just paid for admission and let the kids ride their bikes for a little bit, and that was about it. Um, but yeah, it
Okay.
was a little steep, but we also looked into maybe even just getting a membership just because it was so much fun. And I know they do like the tours and stuff because apparently my dad did that for a little bit in his retirement. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff there. Saw a lot. Saw an armadillo. Jensen said he saw a beaver. Yeah, two armadillos.
Oh, that's
Jensen
cool.
said one of them was a lizard apparently. Yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, like I've wanted to do I think it's a tram ride that takes you all the way to the back and they have like
Hmm.
buffalo and stuff but I don't know, we've never done that. We usually just get the admission. I think we've even done like the bike rentals
Hmm.
to ride bikes all the, up and down. That's pretty fun. But I think we've maybe walked one of the trails, but it just seemed like it was just like a logging road. And I don't know if there's like other hiking trails like they're wooded like that one, but it was pretty cool. But yeah, I remember it being like more expensive than what I felt like it should, but I don't know.
Yeah,
It was still really cool.
yeah. And I guess I'm a little confused on, are you allowed to fish there?
I don't know. I mean, maybe, or
I
I
saw a
can't
bridge
remember.
that said
Well,
no
it's
fishing beyond this point, but also when I kept
yeah.
looking in the water, I never saw anything. Just
Hmm.
looked like clear water.
Yeah, that is true. I think it's all like springs, right? It's all natural
I guess so.
springs, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, man, super beautiful. But yeah, so like, I don't know. I just feel like they literally put a fence around it and then we're just like, hey, come check out this natural beauty, but pay us to see it. It's just like, that's kind of messed up. Almost should have been, I think, designated as like a national park or something like
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah, but then I feel like that's also gonna have issues with funds and keeping it up and all that.
true. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, probably need to be maintained and stuff like that. So I could see both sides.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. Um,
cool, man.
Anything else to add for week recap, or are we ready to go into the new music?
New music.
What are you guys listening to?
Weekly playlist.
Weekly
Playlist.
Weekly playlist. Weekly.
All right. So new music. We have kind of a shorter playlist this week. Not a lot came out, but look, I kind of want to start with the singles because it seemed like after I created this playlist, a couple more singles kept coming out. So let's start with the singles. First one was Midnight Messiah by Dream Theater. Um,
Hmm.
I've been liking a lot of the Dream Theater singles came out. This one didn't hit me as good as the other ones, but I feel like the last third of the song is where the riffs kind of started kind of getting my attention more, so I kind of liked it more, but still wasn't as into as the other ones. Did you listen to this one?
I did, man. I thought it was pretty cool. Kind of like a thrashier kind of tune, or faster paced. But then I noticed like the genius of that band is like Dave Portnoy. Like I think that's the drummer's name, but he doesn't like. Sometimes he does crazy, off-timey stuff, but this time it's just like there was really simple beats in it. But I just felt like they were perfectly timed and like perfectly executed. And I don't know, it's kind of like a power metal-ish vibe. I don't know. I just didn't really associate them with power metal until like you mentioned that last time. I thought that was interesting, but definitely kind of get the power metal vibes with this one, I'd say. Um, but yeah, man, I thought it was a pretty cool track. If anything, I think that is like a little lengthy, but I don't
Hmm.
think Dream Theater's known for short songs, so
No.
yeah. But yeah,
Um,
man, it was cool.
yeah. Up next, we also have another song leading up to a new album, and that's Cradle of Filth's new song, To Live Deliciously. What do you think of this one?
Ah, I don't know, man. I was just kind of like bored with I guess really with like the lyrics and stuff. I just didn't feel like it was like the traditional Cradle of Filth kind of stuff. I did kind of like how he almost hit like a thrashier side that I haven't heard before. And I don't know if that's just, I haven't really listened to the last two albums either. So, but this song really seemed to like it was kind of more thrashy or death than I even got like the black metal kind of aspect of them. But I thought it was pretty, it was pretty cool. But I didn't really know what it was about. I couldn't grasp what it was about, with the title and
Hmm.
everything. I don't know. What do you think of it?
I actually didn't mind it. There were some things though that wasn't too big a fan. So I like what he's doing vocally a little bit. I know it's kind of away from it, typical Cradle of Filth. I know the beginning he had that kind of typical where he does the whole galloping goes slowly up and high, do the high thing.
Hmm.
That kind of threw me off because it didn't feel like it fit the rest of the song, and he doesn't really do it the rest of the song. But I did think like instrumentally everything was pretty cool. I like that. And then also when he does his newer not that style vocals, I thought that fit better. However, like you said, the lyrics seem a little weird, and also I was not a
Hmm.
big fan to where it seemed like he is essentially just creating a new word, and which I mean isn't terribly uncommon in music, but uh, like the song is "To Live Deliciously," and I want to say in the chorus he says "To live."
It's cool riffage, man, for sure. Like I definitely like the tunage. It rips.
Yeah, it was. I did like it. Just certain things threw me off. Maybe I'm wrong because it
Yeah, it's kind
sounded
of
like
like
he was saying Yeah, I guess I'm wrong because I'm looking at the
we
lyrics
live
now.
to wit. Oh my gosh, we wish to live deliciously. I think is that it?
Yeah, I think that I was. It sounded to me. It sounded like a delic. It was either what is it? Either way, I thought he was combining two words. Apparently, he's not. Just that makes it sound weird. Either way, it
Hmm.
wasn't too bad of a song.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was cool to hear. I definitely am into this more than I am like when they were leaning towards like a poppier kind of style with I think it was Thornography. There were still some good ones on Thornography, but I'm trying to think. I felt like they got poppy in that era. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm definitely liking what I'm hearing. I just don't know like the lyrical content. I was just kind of thrown off with, but I also don't know what it's about. So
Yeah. Up next is a big single. This got me excited after listening to it. This is the new track by Deaf Heaven, the song
yeah,
Magnolia.
hell
What
yeah,
did
dude.
you think?
Super happy with it, man. I thought it was really cool. Love the sounds. Good to hear him again. Like really missed his high vocal, dude. It is so good, so damn
Hmm.
good. Um, but yeah, man, back at it and good as ever. It sounds like so. I thought this was a pretty badass track. What do you think of it?
I I really am enjoying it. Hopefully this is how the hopefully it's not one of those things like kind of like to from the kettle to the coil to where it's just a one-off song. Hopefully this is actually how the album sounds. But I'm not gonna lie, if Deaf Heaven didn't put this on their spot, like if the album artwork didn't have if they didn't push the album artwork and also say they're releasing a new single soon, I would have thought this was an AI generated thing because
Yeah.
um
Yeah, it's definitely
unlike
weird.
unlike Deaf Heaven's old stuff, this has zero of the shoegaze stuff, and it seems to primarily be very black metal, even almost towards like the whole true cult black metal that people like to say. Very,
Mhm.
very just straight up for black metal instead of the Death Heaven we're kind of used to with the old days of shoegaze and black metal. But I still loved it. It got me so excited. I started past 2 nights. I've been pulling out the Death Heaven vinyl of New Bermuda just to listen to it
Nice.
and miss how much I loved that band. So
That's awesome.
this is refreshing, has me excited. So
Yeah, no doubt.
hopefully they this whole album's like this, or even if they just go back to normal black gaze, as long as it's not full on shoegaze like they did the last album. Up next, we have a single I was very excited to see, Gates to Hell, with their new song Next to Bleed. Um,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed their previous song they released. I think it was early or mid last year. Loved it. Wanted to hear more about from them. This one, the first playthrough, wasn't too excited. Second playthrough was like, okay, yeah, might not be as good as the first song, but it's still a banger. It's still great. What'd you think of this one?
It's heavy as shit, dude. It rips. Super short. I feel like
Hmm.
they got a lot of short tracks. But yeah, dude, it's so solid. It's super solid. Definitely stoked. Is that leading up to a new album you said?
I think so.
Or
I'm not sure. This is a newer band for me. I only found them last year with that single they came out. But I
yeah.
want to say they're on the Acacia Strain tour with Frozen Soul.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Spotify, they got a countdown actually. 51 days for their next album, which is Death Comes to All, and that comes out March 21st.
Hell yeah.
So,
Awesome. What would
yeah,
you
it's pretty sick.
classify this? I've seen some people call it deathcore, but I feel like it's more of a death metal vibe with maybe a little bit of hardcore influence, but it doesn't really seem to fit the mold of deathcore. What's your opinion?
Yeah, I mean they kind of have like a definitely heavier death metal than deathcore, but some elements of both. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, because it just I don't know, yeah, somewhere in there, in between.
Yeah. Um, Up next is I'm sure the song you're the most excited about. This is Atonement by Employed to Serve
Yeah.
and featuring Will Ramos. You sent me a message uh last week slightly angrily about this. You
I
want to
didn't know what
introduce
to
this song?
yeah. I didn't know what to think of this song, and so like I messaged you, and I was like, trying to think what I say. Will Ramos is doing. I said WTF? That dude's singing like Nickelback now, and like they took a bad part of the song and put that in that little reel clip because they take like the last time he does that chorus, which has like this effect on it that makes it almost kind of sound like deeper and more butt rockish, and so like the other parts in the song almost it sounds more clear than that particular one, and so I listened to it today, the full song, and I actually really like the song, dude. I think it rips. The chick vocals, Employed to Serve. I like this band. Checked out one of their previous albums. I was really happy with. They got badass breakdowns and just really awesome band. But yeah, dude, her vocals in this track and the track in general is actually a really good song. I think it's super catchy, and even the chorus, like that he does sing, is catchy, and so that's what gets me. It's I don't know, just singing like that, it was totally threw me by surprise. Like, and then I didn't think it really sounds like his face, you know what I mean? Just doesn't match him. So I don't know. I thought it was weird, but good in a way. What did you think of it?
I was not too much of a fan, so I didn't mind it at first because I really liked their last album, kind of almost like a mathy, a little bit metalcore. Uh, and the girl has that kind of like that fryish kind of sound to her
Yeah.
vocals that I like. But some of the lyrics I wasn't too big a fan of. Like I feel like it was like what's the last line the girl like if I can't have you, no one will. It's like I feel like I've heard this too many times. I'm kind of tired of hearing stuff like that. And then same with the lyrics of the sung part. I wasn't too much a fan of. I felt like, all right, I feel like there's no new things to say, it feels like. But all in all, I do like the main vocals parts, and then also especially the back and forth with Will Ramos's screams, I think are cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but when Will Ramos does the clean vocals, like you said, it almost sounds like someone invited their dad to come sing on their song, and it very much has that vibe. I don't know, it threw me off.
Yeah, like it throws me off, but I think it's good. Like I really do. I mean, I think I like it more than I don't, you know?
Hmm.
Um, and so I don't know. I was just I could not believe those cleans when I heard it. I was like, that's Will Ramos? Like, remove your hands from my throat. I think that's it. I think that's the line, remove your hands from my throat. And
Yeah.
so I was like, that's kind of weird. And it like the whole vibe of the song, like you said, that line that she says is something something. If I can't, don't you understand? Like if I can't have you, no one will, or something like that. But I don't know. I kind of liked it. Like with her vocal style, especially, I thought it kind of like brought that psychotic kind of vibe immediately, punched into the song with that. So I was like, frantic right off the bat. But and then it just rips right into it, dude. Pretty sick song, but um, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, his lyric in that chorus is definitely odd. So I don't know. It's almost like a divorce song or something. Like,
See, you get that dad vibes when he comes in, so it
yeah,
has that.
yeah, I know. Yeah, you kind of like have the dad vibes and then like the psycho, killer. So I don't know.
It also reminds me a little bit of like the stirred vocals, how he does it. So it almost has
Yeah.
like you said, divorced dad punching holes in the wall in the garage as he's singing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be cool to see live, especially like his like metal vocals were sounding awesome. Like you said, the back and forth that they did, that was
Hmm.
pretty sick. That was really cool sounding. But yeah, man, I don't know. I think I'm a fan. And it looks like I was just scoping that out on Spotify, and I think that's leading up to a new album coming out. Oh, so this one, Fallen Star, upcoming release, April 24th. So cool. 86 days away.
Nice. Yeah, I guess I don't really mind the clean vocals too much. I just am worried when it comes to that if this is their first single from this album, is it going to be very frequent? Because for Employed to Serve, I like you said, the psychotic vibe, and also just with their old stuff, kind of a visceral, chaotic feel. And I feel like when you have the clean vocal, like I don't mind if they have a couple songs out of the album with the clean vocals. I just feel like every time the clean vocals do come in, that chaos is now more orderly. It's no longer chaos. Kind of takes away for me. But I would be fine with about three or four songs having kind of clean vocals like that because, like you said, seeing it live, just like you have chaos, 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 and all of a sudden the clean vocals that everyone knows and can sing along, that'd be fun. I
Hmm.
just don't want to. Who might? I guess Whitechapel didn't necessarily do it, but I'm thinking of like bands that do shift more from the screams solely to the cleans. I
Yeah.
worry about when it comes to that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that we probably get an abundance of it on this album just because I think this is like one of those one-off features. My thought was, is Will Ramos going to try to incorporate this into Lorna Shore now?
I hope not.
because I was like, there's no way I don't think that could mesh. But I mean, I guess they could prove me wrong. I don't know. I think that'd be interesting to hear.
I think
But
if Lorna Shore did it, you would have to have someone else do the guest vocals of like clean vocals. I'd prefer not that your
it'd be a weird
hair's
switch up,
around
wouldn't
my
it?
throat. I don't want
Yeah.
that on the the chaotic majesty of what Lorna Shore does. I don't want
Yeah.
something like that.
Be
Um,
interesting.
Up next we have a couple singles because I guess I've been behind on it. Bleed from Within has a couple new
Hmm.
songs. A Hope in Hell, A Place of Your Halo, and Hands of Sin, which that one features Silosis. I was liking what I was hearing. I'm not too familiar with Bleed from Within. Um, I really like the In Place of Your Halo song. This was pretty good. What did you think of this one?
Um, I know that I've listened to one of these, but I can't tell you which one it was. And yeah, I think it didn't really resonate with me, whichever one I
Hmm.
did hear. So I actually didn't get to these on this playlist this week, but so yeah, man, I really wouldn't have a lot to say about it. I'm sure there's probably cool stuff in there. I probably need to go back and check that one out, but really I didn't have time. I was trying to get in the Mayhem too. But I did check out the new single from Aborted. Did you
I
check
was
this one
wondering,
out?
I was going to ask you about that because I had to
Yeah.
re-listen to it just to have it fresh in my mind. I like it. The
Yeah.
Pain Will Be Exquisite, the new song by Aborted. And it seems to be kind of what they've been doing. They come out with a big album because Vault of Horrors just came out last year. And they seem to do this to kind of keep people's interest. Either they release a single or,
Hmm.
um, because what was the one they did? What was it? Infinite Terror they did before Vault of
Hmm.
Horrors. Uh,
Yeah.
and before that, they've done either a single or an EP. So I don't know if this is building up to an EP or if this is just a single they're doing this year. But either way, start off epic and cool. It's aborted. I mean, I can't really
Yeah.
say much.
Yeah. It was I thought it rips, man. I mean, it's kind of a slower one than what they typically do. But still, super crushing parts and really badass kind of vibes that they bring typically with their releases. So, yeah, like you said, man, it is aborted. And yeah, it's brutal. It's awesome.
Hmm.
And I think they said when they released this is actually from the Vault of Horrors sessions.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is, I
Kind of like
think,
a
is from
B-side.
what I read. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, I thought it was pretty cool.
I wonder,
Oh
was that
yeah.
supposed to be like a Hellraiser reference? Because don't they already have a Hellraiser song on the album?
I don't know. Is that what he says in the movie?
I
It
think that's
looks
kind of
like
like the whole theme of the whole series.
huh.
But
It looks like the artwork's like bees on a carcass.
oh, so Candyman?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh yeah, because there's hooks in this carcass too. Oh, that's pretty sweet, dude.
So who are they gonna have feature in that, I wonder? Because that's the
I
only
don't
would have been
know.
the only one that does a feature.
Yeah, interesting. Hmm.
All right. That's it for singles. Now we're on to albums. Only four albums, and one of them was a late edition this week. I'll start it off with Harakiri for the Sky with their new album, Scorched Earth. I was excited about this album because I really like the singles, Heal Me, and I want to say the other one was with Autumn I'll Surrender. Very excited. Even the opens up with one of the singles, Heal Me. Love it. It kind of gives me a vibe somewhere between like Deaf Heaven and a little bit of Dark Tranquility with the melodies and stuff. Really got me going, got me excited, loved it. However, that for me is pretty much the highlight of this entire album. I got very bored and I have still yet to finish this album after two listens. I don't know what
That
it is.
review
I don't
started out really strong.
it would I was so excited and yeah. Keep Me Longing is pretty much it's a so every song I don't mind long songs. Like I'm not in favor of them, but if they can pull it off, they can pull it off. Heal Me, they pulled it off. 7 minutes and 36 seconds. I can deal with that. It was great. Next song, 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Song after that, 10 minutes and 3 seconds. But the thing is, like, Heal Me was great. The next two songs, Keep Me Longing and Without You, I'm just a sad song. Those were pretty much the same songs, just the things I liked about Heal Me kind of stripped away. There wasn't as much melody in those songs, like the Dark Tranquility vibes. And then when that stuff does get in, I'm bored with the album already, and that comes in back in about no around the fifth track, no fourth track, No Graves But a Sea.
Mm.
The only other part that kind of piqued my interest again was I Was Just Another Promise. I because the album does kind of give like a sad vibe, which pulls off great with Heal
Yeah.
Me, but after a while, like all these long songs that don't really do anything new past the first song, I get kind of bored. Which is a shame because I do like this band and the Heal Me song I love. I would still probably listen to Heal Me all the time. In fact, I was even thinking about next time I go for a run, listening to that because it's one of those ones like this can get me going. This can make me want to run, enjoy nature. It's a beautiful song, great. But other than that, it was a letdown. What do you think of this album?
Well, you made it longer than I did. I think I got like a minute into Heal Me, and I was like, nah, not feeling this. And so like I even like did the whole like go to like the middle of the album, hit a couple tracks, see if it like gets pumped up or gets going. And I just heard the ding 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 ding, and I'm just like, no, no, I ain't doing it. I just wasn't feeling it. This band might be good, but I gotta say the vocals on that first song in particular, I was like, oh God, I I kind of hated it. You know, sorry, but
You're good.
you know what? I did get the sad
Uh,
vibes of the album, but I felt like Defeater's been there, done that, and better. So,
yeah,
but sorry to any Harakiri for the Sky fans out there, but
yeah. And I
yeah,
don't, I
Defeater already kind of nailed it on the head for me.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this band. I don't, but vocal wise, it reminds me of Del Wears Prada's newer stuff because that's kind of how his vocals do. But I think it works better for Del Wears Prada because their songs are shorter. So like they'll have like 10 or 12 songs on an album, but it's only like 30 or 40 minutes. This song's an hour and 7 minutes long. And with Del Wears Prada, they have two vocalists, so you can shift it up. This has just the one vocalist
Yeah,
doing that style for an hour and 7 minutes. Um,
yeah,
But that's why for me, Heal Me is the farthest I can go because like that gas is already gone. And that was the most excited I got for the entire album. Other than that, and even some of their fans I've seen have been kind of saying the same thing. There's been a lot of like the post-atmospheric black metal Facebook group I'm in. Uh, Someone posted this and they said I feel very meh about it, and all the fans are like this is the most lackluster I've seen this band do. So
hmm,
if you kind of enjoy some of these songs, I recommend checking their old stuff because they are a good band. This just feels a little boring. So
sorry, it's just so harsh.
yeah,
Hang in there, Harakiri for the Sky. It'll be okay.
up next we have a complete vibe change in
I mean, I think it's
Sinister.
fair because this is a death metal podcast. You know what I mean? And that's clearly not death metal. So the fact that we're even talking about it on this podcast, they should be like, all right, cool. You know, I mean, are they thrown in like the death metal, genres?
I think they're more of like black metal community fans because even some parts like I hear a lot of like the Death Heaven kind of crescendo black metal style. Um,
Mm,
but it's almost like kind of that kind of a post metal vibe with a little bit of the Death Heaven flavor and like I said, the dark tranquility type of melodies and stuff. At least what I was getting from it. But yeah, I wouldn't say really death metal that much. So I mean they had the blast, but that's more of the black metal coming through.
mm.
But then again, no black most the elite black metal people are not going to recognize this band, so somewhere in there.
Yeah.
All right. Up next is the vibe change with Sinister. Uh, and their new album or their new EP, War, Life, Death. What'd you think of this one?
Uh, I thought it was cool. I was definitely thrown off by the vocals and like the lyrics in that first track. I thought that kind of got like a little wacky, you know. Wasn't really feeling it. And then Shallow Grave came on, and that's, I guess, is this band just doing, or the vocals in that first track, the vocals throughout the rest of this album? So I only listened to the first two tracks, I guess I
They
should
kind of
start
go
out saying.
back and forth. I don't know how many vocalists are in here, but I know one of the styles of vocals sounds very familiar. It sounds like the vocalist from the British kind of a joke metalcore band, The Hell. I don't know if you're listening to The Hell.
I don't think so.
Very, very much like that, but every now and then, almost like pigs, pig squeal, almost like a Within Destruction style slam pig squeal vocals. Um, yeah. And then also get a little bit of a Peeling Flesh vibe with some of the hip hop stuff they have in here.
Hmm.
Um, they do have a
Oh yeah,
song.
I did get that in the first song. Like,
Hmm.
that reminded me of Shoot to Kill. Like, it almost sounds
Hmm.
like the same kind of flow of the sample that they did.
Yeah. Yeah. It almost makes me think maybe I don't know if they listened to the new Peeling, the G code and thought, hey, let's put this, or if it was already going on. Either way, it sounds cool. There is a
Yeah.
track on here that accidentally got left off because I saw it, added it, then found out there's a whole EP. But there's another song featuring Peeling Flesh, which would have been cool to listen to, but I messed that up. Yeah. Um. So you only listen the first two tracks. What'd you think of them?
Yeah, I really dug the tunes. I just, like I said, the first track I was kind of thrown off with the vocals and stuff, so I just wasn't really enthused about sticking with it, and so I think I moved on just to try to get a gist of the playlist. So, yeah, I didn't check out the rest of these, but I noticed they have one that's Fade to Black. I assume this is not a Metallica cover.
It is not. Um.
Okay.
I want to say one of them though. I think it's Of Sin and Virtue has kind of a Predator vibe because they kind of do that thing that Esophagus does, that Predator, the click thing. Yeah, and they even have a sample from Predator of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then goes back
Okay.
to the weird stuff. But yeah,
Nice.
um, up next we have the Great Old Ones with their new album, Under the Sign of Koth. Um, this is probably the one I listened to the least. What'd you think of this one?
I really like the tunes. I kind of didn't really care for the artwork though. I felt like it's not a good portrayal of the tunage. You know, this is one of those like releases where the music's better than the artwork, and so I'm just
Hmm.
not as collectively enthused about it. Um, but aside from that, man, I really like their sound. I almost kind of got Watain vibes, especially in the vocals and stuff. So I definitely liked what I was hearing. I didn't get through the whole album though, so this is one I'm gonna have to go back and check out. But I really liked what I was hearing.
I gotcha. Yeah, like I said, I didn't listen to it too much. I didn't mind it. It was just kind of like you said, there was other stuff in place I wanted to get to, and that other stuff kind of got my attention more.
Mm,
So, um, up next, this was a late edition. This is the new album called Painted Paradise by the band Fleshbore. Um,
mm,
and I was listening to this as I was getting ready for this podcast. I like this. It's almost
yeah.
it's very techy, but it has a little bit of a slam flavor in some parts, especially in the vocals. I like this. Artwork reminds me a little bit of Flub. Um,
Yeah.
I like this. What do you
Yeah,
think of
for
this
sure,
one?
dude. Yeah, this absolutely rips. And I mean, it almost looks like it could be Flub's Artist, you know, that album cover.
Hmm.
Uh, Yeah, because it's like crazy similar, like even in the same style too, you know. But sound wise, dude, yeah, this is super awesome. You have like these black metal highs that I feel like are an odd choice, but kind of work, you know, and so they have a unique sound because of that. 'Cause you kind of have that like slammier kind of growl in there too. But then they get super techy and super choppy with it, and almost to the extent of like Archspire. Like he matches some
Hmm
of like Archspire tempos sometimes. I was like, damn, dude, like he's going fast. So yeah, crazy ass tech, dude. Like I would love to see this band live because I bet they rip.
hmm
Sick album though for sure, and
Oh
probably the
yeah.
one I listen to the most on this
hmm
playlist.
Yeah, I just listened to it today. I was working out to this, like, oh, this is actually because late edition. I thought, I'll probably barely listen to it. No, listen to the whole thing, and then I had to listen to it again right before I got on the camera. So yeah, this is a good album. Check out Flesh Bore, their new album, Painted Paradise.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's it. For our new release playlist. Anything else you've been listening to recently, or any other new releases?
Um, yeah, Riff Raff, Welcome to Shaolin.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Welcome to Shaolin. So like a Wu-Tang
yes,
style.
I don't know. It's not really. I mean, yeah, it's just Welcome to Shaolin's the album title. Maybe some Wu-Tang reference in there. I'm not a big Wu-Tang guy, so I don't know a lot about them. But this just came out January 17th, and it has 21 songs on it, so it is lengthy, over an hour of music. But dude, like, I'm kind of ashamed of myself that I like this so much, but it's so catchy. Like, I don't know if he just paid a bunch of people to like make it super catchy, or like had a team of like 50 people working on these songs to make them that good, but you know what? It's definitely been a guilty pleasure. We should make a new segment, you know, guilty pleasure, or what's your guilty pleasure this week? So, but mine would
Guilty.
be Riff Raff. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, now I gotta think of what my guilty ple Oh, I can probably think of what my guilty
Or
pleasure is.
let's see if you have a guilty pleasure in your week of Spotify, like anything in your search, guilty pleasure. Something you would like, you know, blame on your kids that, oh, my kid had my phone. They must have looked that up. Or
Um, so my guilty pleasure for the week is actually I'm not gonna blame my kids. This Jimmy Eat World. Um,
oh,
I've never been super into them, but someone posted something about them. It's like, all right. So I just put them on when I was cleaning. It's like, man, this is actually really good. And that's Jimmy World Bleed American 2001. Has their two biggest hits on
oh
it,
yeah,
with the title track and The Middle.
yeah, dude. Take you back to middle school days, probably.
Absolutely. It was a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, mostly been listening to, oh, and also 4 Year Strong, another more of a post-hardcore vibe, but they're fun, kind of a pop punky, not really easy core, more of a post-hardcore. But they imagine if Hatebreed decided to create a pop punk band. Still a little bit of the breakdowns, a little bit aggressiveness, but a lot of it just like pop punk style stuff. Um,
Okay.
that was fun. Other than that, listened to a lot of Kublai Khan, and also with this playlist with that new single, some Death Heaven in there, and also check backed out Oathbreaker, their album Rhea.
Oh yeah,
Haven't
okay.
listened to
I
that in
remember that
forever.
band.
I haven't
I
listened to that
think they had
forever.
yeah, dude. I mean, I think we were living together the last time I listened to that band, and I think it was an album or something. It was a whole release of theirs that I got obsessed with real quick. But man, I haven't heard of them in a long time. Haven't listened to them in a long time.
Yeah, that
But I
was
remember it being really good.
that was a fun walk down backpack because even 'cause I had the vinyl. It's like, man, I haven't listened to this forever. Put it on the my display because it's also just like nice to look at. I don't really understand what the picture is supposed to be. That one with like the hand and like wax, but it looks like there's multiple
Hmm.
hands. I don't really understand it. But even that album, it's artistic, but it hit with listening to Black Gaze. I hit the right time. It's the right itch, because it's one of those albums that has to be. I have to be in the exact mood for it to work, and it worked at that point with getting back into Black Gaze. So
You like Black Gaze?
yes, absolutely, all of it.
So is that two words, or do they make that one word as a genre?
I think it's one word, just like shoegaze.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
Other than that, in my rotation, or not rotation, but Spotify recent searches, New Millennium Cyanide Christ, Meshuggah, the
Oh,
Almighty,
yeah.
getting geared up for that April show. Jeffrey,
We'll see. I'm still trying to figure out the details on how that's all going to work. Also,
okay.
it's only been 2 days. I don't want to be like, so what's going on with
Yeah.
this? Am I?
Hey guys,
Yes, it is.
so I know I just got here, but I'm gonna need to take some time off.
Yeah, I need to check that out. But also, there's another. So this will be. I'll just move on to metal news because it's gonna have to deal with that. There's another thing that's going on around that same time.
Okay.
I'm thinking
Beep,
about
beep,
going.
beep, beep, beep.
Metal news.
Metal news. Yeah.
It's mid.
This is something. This is some a tour I've had talked about a couple episodes ago. And the old closest one was supposed to be Nashville, and that was the Poison the Wells doing their album tour of their debut album. They're gonna play it all the way through opposite of December. I love that album. Grew up loving that album. Never got, or I've seen Poison the Well once, but wasn't into him at the time. And then eventually got into him, then fell in love with specifically that album. It's gonna be them, Glassjaw, and Better Lovers, and then Teenage
Mm,
Risk, who I've never heard of, but
ooky
they
Jeff.
just they just added a Lawrence, Kansas date,
Oh, okay.
but without Glassjaw, but still Better Lovers and Poison the Well. That would be great.
Damn, that'd
However,
be
it's
sick.
April 13th. It's the last day of AT. So it's one of those things like, are we gonna get out early? Am I gonna have time? But also,
Yeah,
am I gonna be gone this entire time? So I don't want to just,
yeah,
like, bye guys, and then not see the family just for
yeah,
another night kind of thing. So we'll see.
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on around that time. Like just kind of popping up all at once. Like Lux has really been into watching wrestling on TV lately. Kind of a yeah, I know, random new thing. And so because Raw went to Netflix, I don't know if you've been tuning in or not, but
Was this Lex or Lux?
Lux, yeah, like
Okay.
4-year-old. Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. I thought you were
Yeah.
saying Lex was like,
Oh,
hey,
life,
let's
yeah.
watch some.
Yeah, I've been really been wanting to watch that new show. What's it called? Raw?
I heard this is
They
a
do like
horror
the
movie. Is this the
flips.
one where the person becomes a zombie cannibal person and they eat raw meat? Oh, this when do they get to that? Maybe it's the next episode.
Yeah. Raw is war. Um, so yeah, yeah, that's been like a new thing that we've been tuning into on Monday nights. Anyways, it's gonna be in Kansas City like around April, I don't know, April something. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's right around then. I want to say there's another event or something happening around that time too, but I don't know. Yeah, just seems like a lot's popping up right now for spring, so to be expected, but whatever.
Yeah. Does she have a favorite wrestler yet?
Yeah, I think it's like the Rhea Ripley chick, the goth chick.
Oh, okay. The one who looks exactly like Chris Motionless.
Yeah, you know what? I thought that same thing. I was like, "Shit, is this the dude from Motionless in White?" But like seeing her shoulders, I was like, "Holy shit, man! She can kick my ass for sure." Like she looks stacked. It's like, damn. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. It's been fun. It's kind of like nostalgic. Because the first episode that they premiered on Netflix, they brought back like a bunch of the old stars. Undertaker was on there, and The Rock, Triple H. I think Triple H is like still involved or some shit, but I don't know, man. Yeah, it was cool. And then I seen Rey Mysterio on there. Dude's still wrestling. I was like, how are you
How
still
old is
doing
he?
this? I don't know, dude. He's got to be 50s. I would like probably more than likely 50s. That's crazy though.
Was it actually him though?
Damn,
Has it been
it's
him this
him.
entire time? Is what I'm
True.
asking.
Yeah, true. I mean, I can't really prove that, but yeah, it looks like him. I mean, he's got the same eyes. I mean, I think it's contacts, but whatever. But yeah, that would be a good like kind of trick to keep a character going like 100 years.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I can't believe it. This is his 100th year wrestling, and it still looks like
and
he's
he
30.
still looks still not a wrinkle on him, all greased up and tanned.
Yeah. No, he definitely looks like he's got like a bulging abdomen. Like he still has like an eight pack or whatever, but it's like one of those bulging like eight packs where like you could tell it looks like he like likes to drink beer, but he's still doing steroids, so it's kind of keeping him in shape and together, but yeah, I don't know. I just imagine like their back pain and fucking knees and joints. Oh, it's got to be like
Oh yeah.
excruciating.
Especially him with because he was always doing that high flying extra stuff, I remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he's still doing that shit. It seems like he's slower. A little bit slower. Like he's still doing some wild stuff, doing the whole legs around the head thing and then like doing the twirls. But, it's like damn, that's nuts, man. That's some dedication.
Um,
Anyways, think I derailed that one. What were we
you're
talking
good.
about?
Do you have any more metal news? Because I only had the tour. I can't
Hmm,
think of any more metal
metal
news.
news. Um, no, man. I did want to highlight, like, with the Cradle of Filth new single, kind of gets me pumped for that Dying Fetus co-headline that
Oh yeah,
they're gonna do. What was that? Chaos and Carnage
Chaos and
next year or
Carnage.
this year?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this year.
that's gonna kind of be cool, man. Like
Hmm
just thinking about that song now, it does kind of seem like a pumper up, like
hmm
it's kind of like energetic vibes. So I don't know. I think that'd be sweet.
Yeah, one that the crowd can kind of sing along to, even though it's new.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah. I know I've been noticing I was kind of gonna want to get your opinion. I've been looking at because I always get these advertisements for indie merch store, which causes me to be on that site all the time. And they have a bunch of pre-orders for new albums that are coming out. And I've been thinking about getting one, but at the same time, I was like, which one do I want? Should I get more than one, or should I not get any? What should I get? So there's a couple that I've been thinking about. I want your opinion. Should I get them? Which one should I get?
Okay.
Or should I not get any of them? And it was first one up was Spirit World's Eldorado.
Ooh,
Uh yeah, it's a
man,
big one.
that would be
Not only
cool.
that, they're re-releasing Death Western on vinyl, which is also still on pre-order
Ooh,
right now. So,
that's cool. They got cool variants?
it looked like Eldorado had variants, didn't look like Death Western did.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Um, man. Yeah, I would probably pull the trigger on Death Western. Or no,
Yeah.
Eldorado.
Then I also got I was going to think about pre-ordering the Harakiri for the Sky. I'm glad I didn't though, after how that turned
Yeah.
out. They had a
Yeah.
cool variant though. It was cause I'm sure you've seen the artwork. It was
Yeah. With like the deer on the front or whatever.
yeah, the variant was like this deep dark purple swirl to kind of go with the album cover,
Mm,
which looked cool. Very
that's cool.
beautiful variant, but the album was $44. So very
Whoa,
much good. I did
damn.
not
That's
didn't pull the
crazy.
trigger on
That's a
that one.
lot. Yeah, man.
And then up next, there's also Cradle of Filth. I think
Oh,
something about the Valkyries. Uh,
Storm
at
of
the
the
same time,
Valkyries or something like that.
yeah, that sounds right. At the same time, it's like, Because I can't think of an album, a full Cradle of Filth album I loved besides uh what's the one with blood, Sulfur and Honey and Shat Out of Hell.
Hmm. Chat out of hell?
hmm It's like the
That's
intro
a.
song. Well, so there's an intro, then
Oh.
there's an actual first song.
Oh, okay.
It's Shat Out of Hell.
I don't know
Um,
if I remember that one.
it's like my favorite one. Uh, it's about Gilda Ray, who was like friends with Joan of Arc, but he was actually like a t terrible evil person. So it's about him. I forget what that
Hmm.
is. But anyway, that's the only Cradle of Filth song album I actually liked all the way through.
Hmm.
So it's one of those things like it's hit and miss, but that album artwork, it looks cool, and it's like I don't know, maybe they are back. At the same time, they have an Ed
Yeah.
Sheeran track.
Oh man, is it on this album or do you
I'm
know?
assuming so. I don't know though.
I don't know. The way that I've seen it like discussed in like interviews and stuff, he almost makes it seem like it's just a side thing. I don't know that it's a Cradle of Filth. I just feel like it might be like an Ed Sheeran song featuring Danny Filth or something like that. I don't know.
But I feel like that
Weird.
makes even less sense. I
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
because which would be
Yeah, I
easier,
know.
Ed Sheeran crowd
I
to
don't know.
accept Danny Filth or Danny Filth's crowd to accept Ed Sheeran?
I don't think Cradle of Filth's crowd's gonna accept Ed Sheeran at all.
Yeah.
Or Danny Filth's like I think Ed Sheeran's crowd would probably be like, "What's this guy doing?" I don't know.
Well, then again, I also can't imagine him doing his like high-pitched screams over like poppy synth stuff and guitar.
Yeah.
But I
Well, and I don't know
could
with
imagine Ed Sheeran doing like a spoken word intro or like how he does the narration stuff in the album sometimes. I can see that maybe.
well, Danny Filth like even does like the deep kind of narrating singing like like that style. Like it's just kind of like a weird like, I don't know. It's like a weird kind of singing scream thing. Not even scream, but yeah, you know what I mean. But I don't know what that's going to be. But anyways, back to this new album. It sounds strong. I don't know, man. Buying a vinyl like that, it's shot in the dark.
hmm
And like I've got a couple shot in the dark vinyls, I gotta say. Um, like I got Cattle Decap's Terracite, and I think that was good, but um, I don't know. Like, I still think it's actually really good, but I guess what I'm wondering is whenever you buy a random vinyl and you're not sure how the whole album's going to be, do you think just because you do pre-order it and those albums you do decide to pull the trigger on that you're just like, oh, this is going to be awesome? Do you think you convince yourself that it's good because you bought it?
I do that, I know. But at the same time, I feel like I could, for some reason, with that thinking, I can also think it's an amazing album, but it could be trash. Or the reverse could happen to where I have such high expectations and it doesn't meet my
Mm,
expectations. Like, now I'm stuck with this thing. Um,
yeah,
but
I don't know.
also, you bring it up because it makes me think, is there really is no advantage to pre-order besides making sure you have the album. Like if you're worried it might sell out and there might not make more variants. But
Yeah, the
I don't know.
variant, like, definitely if you're a vinyl buyer, like the variance is essentially like the idea of pre-ordering. On top of the variant, you also usually get it before it's released. So you get to
hmm
hear it early. And then I know if you pre-order something, you can also get digital releases earlier than the release date or whatever. So, there's definitely pros to pre-ordering. Um, yeah, I forgot where I was going from there. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I meant what because you can also since it is typically the first batch, there could also be screw ups. Um, but there could also be positive things like when we got the Acacia strain ones. Um, they put a disclaimer on it, like, hey, um, we were supposed to remove this person's vocals from this track due to
Oh yeah.
record label issues, but for some reason it's still populated. So enjoy. You have the one that has so and so's vocals on the song. So stuff like
Oh, is
that's
that what
pretty
that
fucking
means?
cool. Yeah, that's what was on the.
Oh.
I want to say that's on the Failure Will Follow album. It was one of the female singers. Can't remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I actually have that. So you mean that the release that's on Spotify is not the same as that one on the vinyl that we got?
Supposedly, that's what that
Huh.
disclaimer says.
Okay. Interesting. That makes sense because I did not understand what that was at all reading
Yeah, it
that.
was something
But
about their record label and the other person's record label. I guess couldn't have an agreement to have her on it, but it was already
huh.
too late. So I guess they eventually scrapped it, but for some reason that version still got on the vinyl that they shipped out. So.
Wow. Interesting.
Another one I'm thinking about. I haven't listened to, but the album artwork looks so cool. I'm almost thinking about it, and that's new Crown Magnetar or Crown
Mm,
Magnetar.
yeah.
Like the album
Dude, they got
artwork
some sick.
alone.
Yeah. They got sick artwork, dude, for sure. What is that one on the new one? Is
I
it
don't
the
remember what
one
it's
of the
called.
guy in the throne?
No, it's some girl who looks like she has a shroud over her head, but is holding this. You see, she's either holding a snake or the snake's coming out of her mouth. I can't remember.
I'll look it up. Crown Magneter. I wonder if they thought about going into that debacle, trying to explain that name to fans. If they thought that that was going to be an issue.
Here we go. Bringer of Deadlight. Well, no, that's
Yeah,
the name of
that's
the
right.
single.
Um, yeah, I don't know what the album's going to be.
Oh, Punishment, I think.
Oh,
Looking at
Everything
this
Bleeds
artwork.
is what I'm thinking. Dude, that artwork for that album's fucking brutal.
Yeah, that alone is
That was
almost
just
making me
so
think
gnarly.
maybe I should.
Yeah, that artwork is pretty damn sick, dude. Oh, yeah, it says right there, Punishment. It says on that picture, underneath the logo, underneath the band logo. So maybe that's the album coming up. Sick as hell, though, for sure.
Oh yeah.
It's got some boobies on it.
Mm-hmm. Can't go wrong with an album like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would be a cool purchase, man. Like I don't think I have one vinyl that's kind of in that vein of the whole modern deathcore, uh,
Mm-hmm.
extreme. I think extreme deathcore is like what I've referred to them as previously. But
Yeah. I
yeah,
don't
that
think
would
I
be
have
pretty
anything
sick.
like that either. But yeah. Is there anything you're kind of eyeing when it comes to pre-orders?
Um, you know what? Like I feel like I keep my collection. I'd say that loosely. It's just a bundle of, I don't know, 10 to 20 vinyls. I'm still in that range. I don't have a lot. But with that being said, each one of those is like very meaningful in some way. They're a band I really, really love. It's an album I'm obsessed with, or it's usually one of those two things. Um, so yeah, the vinyls that I do get, they're very gotta have. It's almost
Mm-hmm.
like I'm kind of collecting it in case I get stranded on an island with a vinyl player and my collection of vinyls. So those, I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining myself well, but
Oh, I get it. It's
yeah,
those
yeah, just really special releases. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm. Yeah, because I
So every
remember
now and then, like I said, sorry. Every
oh,
now
you're
and then
good.
I'll take a shot in the dark, like Cal Decap's Terracite. But like I said, it's one of those two things. I either really, really love that band, or I really, really love the album. And it's for that reason. It's going to be just because I really, really love that band, their sound and everything. It's worth it to own a record from them, just so I have something to, that has like of theirs that with their signature style. I don't know. Yeah, you get it.
Yeah. I was kind of the same way, especially when I first started, because as soon as I started getting them, I started thinking like, man, there's a lot of albums. I want to get vinyls of albums I 100% love or have a lot of fond
Hmm.
memories of listening to. Like there still are a lot of albums like that. And now when it comes to new releases, I kind of think of like there's albums that have came out to where it's like, oh man, I love this album. I want to hear what kind of like a fear of missing out of I want to hear it on
Yeah,
vinyl as well kind of thing. So I feel like it could be good enough
right.
to where it's like, oh yeah, I want to hear this on vinyl. Um, so yeah, it's kind of that almost like a fear of missing out of I don't want to be the one who doesn't get it, even though I love this album kind of thing. So
Yeah, for sure, dude. And
yeah.
you could strike gold. Like I remember one of the pre-orders I wish I would have, looking back, I wish I would have participated in, and I didn't, and I missed out because they ended up selling out of, I think, all their variants. Was Volvodinia's the space one.
Oh, I
Damn,
forget
what
what
was
it's
that
called.
called?
I always think of the song.
Prometheus Infinity
Yeah,
or something. Yeah,
yeah.
Prometheus something. That one, dude. They had some sick variants, and I was like, I might next check. It was one of those things. Never went back to it. Never pre-ordered it. Album came out, drops. Absolutely love it, like front to back. That's probably one of my favorite albums of theirs, and that is a huge regret. Wish I would have got that on vinyl, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way with Devourment's Obscene Majesty
Oh yeah, dude.
or Frontierers Oxidized because that's the Oxidized one sold out very quickly. I feel like every time they do like have a repress, it's sold
Hmm.
out in like a day. So getting
Damn,
that is kind of
that's
hard to
crazy.
right now. Um, yeah. Do we have any other metal news?
Oh yeah. I was gonna say you mentioned Cradle of Filth's Shat song or whatever, and then I was gonna say, speaking of shit, did you see Behemoth announced a new single?
Oh, is it out yet? I know they like released the title and they've also been, I guess, getting a lot of backlash from people.
I think it comes out maybe tomorrow, the 29th.
Okay.
The shit of God. So,
Yes.
um, yeah, interesting. So yeah, I mean, I'm just interested to hear it just with the title, but I was really digging the reel. It was like a little hype reel for it, man, and it looks like he's almost in a dress up as like the Evangelion days, and so gets me super pumped, dude. They kind of had some like intro tunes with it, or like background tunage to that reel. So if that's part of it, what I heard was pretty sick. So I don't know. I'm definitely pumped for New Behemoth. So
Hell yeah. Hopefully, they kind of correct course because I feel like we are kind of on the same page with their newer stuff. It kind of felt like it was just B-sides after B-sides, but hopefully they
yeah.
do kind of go back to that Evangelion, demigod, apostasy kind of era.
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't that I had an uber disliking to Behemoth's most recent releases. I wasn't as enthused about them as like Evangelion. We discussed that on the Discog ranking, but um, I felt like around that same time frame is when he kicked off that side project, Me and That Man, that
Hmm.
acoustic, which is really cool. It's like a noir style kind of folk, country stuff. I don't know what you'd call it, but anyways, really cool tunes, but I also felt like he kind of adopted this like really raw style. Like he brought that to Behemoth like simultaneously, and I felt like the albums capture like super rawness, like I feel like you can hear it just doesn't sound as perfectly fine-tuned as Evangelion, like even production wise, it sounds a lot more raw and stuff. So I almost kind of want them to go back. I almost kind of want
Hmm.
that really polished sound again.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what I'm kind of hoping happens, but we'll see.
It might, because I don't feel like Me and That Man has done very many releases recently, so I feel like he's had a long enough gap. Maybe he can actually go back to that original Behemoth sound before me and that man side project.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it seems like he kind of stepped away from it, or it might just be one of those things. It's on the back burner. He might write for it in his spare time or something, but just not a main gig. So
Yeah. Let's uh let's move on. Let's talk about I feel like I have ideas all the time, but I can't think as soon as I get in front of here, I can't remember them.
let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you. Is that George Michael's?
I don't know who sings that. That's not I remember hearing it all the time growing up. I don't remember who sung it.
Yeah, I know. Kind of crazy. Crazy song to be on the radio with kids in the car.
Well, I remember there's even do you probably remember being young. Do you remember hearing on the radio as a kid in the 90s um The Bad Touch by the Bloodhound Gang? That used to be on the radio.
Which one is that one?
You and me, baby, ain't
Oh
nothing but
yeah, for
mammals.
sure. Oh yeah, dude, I was singing that in the car. So let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. Could you? Or yeah, dude, I love that song. But I thought it was like a literal term, like let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel, like. And I just, I had like a really naive view of things, so I was like, oh, Discovery, let's learn stuff.
Let's
I
go with
wasn't thinking of it
Zaboomafoo
like
and just
word for word. Yeah. Good incognito incendia, or what would you call that? Good incognito, or no, that's what am I thinking of?
I don't know. What are
Innuendo?
you?
Innuendo?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good yeah. I see what you're saying. Um actually yeah, let's I got an idea. This is something I've been thinking about.
Okay.
Um
Songs not to play in the car. No.
yeah, no. I mean,
Walk.
I don't really have much that I hide from the kids when it comes to music, except for like if it's like overly gratuitous and it's very obvious of what it's talking about. Uh,
Yeah.
but my question was when it comes, so obviously we're around the kids all the time. They don't want to watch what we want to watch, so typically we get stuck watching what they want to watch. Um, Sometimes it ranges from
Oh
shitty,
my God.
but sometimes like, so when's that sequel coming out? Like you can't get into it a little bit. Like not into, but you enjoy it. Is there any kind of like movies or shows that your kids watch that you're kind of that way? Because for me, for example, um, the kids are really into Sonic, the movies,
Mm,
and I'm
yeah.
actually excited for this third one. I want to see this third one with Shadow the Hedgehog. I grew up with Sonic, so I love it. The kids are loving Sonic. I will actually want to see if I can get some Sonic games on their Switch so they can actually get
Oh, that'd be
some
cool.
enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like that?
Um, so we do like the Despicable Me movies. I'm really cool if they want to throw those on. I really get the humor of them, especially like Despicable Me 3. I love that character. I love that they brought in the dude from South Park, Trey Parker or Matt Smith, one of the two, um, to do that guy. Man, I I thought that was like a perfect character, dude, in a movie. He like played the perfect villain. That's like my favorite Despicable Me, I think. But they throw one of those on. I'm cool with it. I don't know. Sometimes Lux gets really out of hand with what she picks, and lately it's been driving me crazy. She's kind of in TV takeover mode. So we're doing like too many kid shows. Like I could go into like a 2 hour bitch segment of all the shows that I do hate. Um, but no, not really. But like lately the new one is like this new Miss Rachel that dropped on Netflix,
hmm
and it's cool. She likes it. Like it's like teaching kind of, it teaches things, so I'm cool with that. And it's really um I guess basic, like just nothing. You don't have to worry about what your kids ingesting watching that show, really. So I don't mind it, but oh my gosh, like the characters of it just drive me crazy. It's just like these uber fake people. I'm like, and just how they talk and stuff. And I just, I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like, I hate this, but I guess it's not the worst thing for her to be watching. So I'd rather her watch that than some weird ass cartoon in
Yeah.
Russian or something, because
Oh yeah, like
she'll get on
Masha
those on
there.
YouTube. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is this? So,
Yeah, we let Theo really likes Miss Rachel, so I've been having to watch a little bit of that from time to time. I don't mind it, but I think I've seen too many like TikToks and Reels to where every time they say certain things, I automatically laugh because I think it's like the dirty thing. Like she's talking about like some kind of puzzle or something. She's like, put it in, and all I can think of is the dirty TikToks and stuff like that. And there's no one, pull it out. And
oh my
yeah,
God,
all I can think of is how I can turn it into something dumb and funny
in the
for
gutter.
myself.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely gets to be like that. Yeah, man, I don't know. It's just there's some weird ass shows out there for kids, and like she likes this one where like I think I've talked about it before, but like kids opening shit on a YouTube channel and playing with it, and I'm just like, it's so weird. Um, but I've already talked about that. I don't want to get too sidetracked. Sonic, so she does like the Sonic movie. We've been kind of throwing that on Prime, and I'm okay with that. I don't know that I really get into it. Yeah, I played the games when I was a kid, but I just haven't really watched the movies, I guess. I haven't really sat down and watched them, so
I
it's
gotcha.
something like I'll throw on, like, and then I'll probably go to sleep to or something. But she likes that one. Let's see. We most recently went to see the new Moana in theaters, and that was cool. Both kids sat through a movie, and that was, awesome. That's an achievement. Like, if you're
Hmm.
a parent and you and your spouse or you are taking your kid to a movie, and they are under the age of, I don't know, I'm going to say 5 and under. Maybe you've experienced this with uh, Annie at 6, but I think 5 and under is a good range. Like you are gambling. I'd say there's a good 50% chance that you'll make it through that whole thing, and a good 50 that you won't. So,
Hmm.
I mean, we've been to the movie so many times and where we've had to leave early just because, like, it's an hour still to go, and then Stella's like up and wanting to look at other people that are down in the aisle, and she keeps moving farther and farther away, already walking around and trying to pick shit up off the ground. I'm like, okay, no, we're not doing this. And then you grab her, and she's like, no, in the quiet movie theater. I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, that's always
Yeah,
fun. But
I've only had to take them to the theater once, and that was, I think, just luck that nothing bad happened. That's the only time I've seen That was the first time I've ever seen Jensen actually sit down and not like crawl around and do whatever. Like they both actually watched the movie, and it was Strange World, which they don't like as much now, but they loved it when it came out. So yeah, like you said, it's a huge gamble to take these kids to a theater.
yeah, yeah, it is. And like, okay, yeah, so you might not last the whole movie, but I will say it's no reason to not go. Like, I think
Hmm.
it's important to still try because whenever you get them through a whole movie, man, it's awesome. When you leave all in a good mood and there's not like it's awesome. And you will have those moments, man. You just gotta, you can't just give it one time, they freak out. All right, we're not doing that again for the next 5 years or something. So I
Yeah,
don't know. I feel like, some parents might be more lenient to just be like, ah, it's just too much of a hassle, not worth it. It totally is worth it, man. Like, even if we go again and, we make it through an hour, no, we tried. So,
yeah,
they'll enjoy another one eventually. So,
yeah. I know Annie still goes. Danny will take Annie every now and then to a movie.
that's
Although
cool.
I was jealous the most recent time. So the plan was that Danny was going to take Annie to Wicked, and she told me we haven't done it yet, but I was going to take Jensen to Mufasa, which I'm jealous
Uh,
because I don't really care to see Mufasa. I wanted to see Wicked, but whatever. We finally did see Wicked because apparently now you can buy it online on
Oh, okay.
Amazon Prime. So we ended up watching it here as a family. Great movie if you haven't seen Wicked. Have you
I
seen it
haven't
yet?
seen that one. Uh-uh.
It's great. Um, maybe wait, I don't. It was $20 to buy it, and now it's on Prime
Mm.
to buy. Um, Pretty much the price of a ticket, but it still
Dang.
is really good. I almost recommend wait till it comes out everywhere. Amazing movie. Music's great. Really long, but really great. Still haven't seen Mufasa, but I need to at some point take Jensen to a movie he wants to see. Because I do think if it's just me and him, he always acts a little bit better.
Yeah. Um, yeah, man. I mean, and yeah, it might be something, might be like the criteria of the movie subject matter that he might be more interested in too, you know? So,
Hmm.
um, but yeah, dude, I think it's still a blast whenever we go. And like the theater around here, they do like $6 Tuesdays or something. It used to be $5, but of course inflation affected everything. Um, so anyways, $6 Tuesdays now. So you can get in pretty cheap, you know, with you and the family on that. So, um, yeah, it's cool. And then I think we watched at home recently Deadpool and Wolverine.
Very
And
good.
dude, oh yeah, it's my favorite Marvel movie of all time for sure. And
Because I got
I mean, I was laughing my ass off, dude. It is hilarious. It's awesome.
Because I watched a little bit of it, but I haven't finished yet. I got to the part where, spoiler alert for everyone, where Jason Evans gets all his skin ripped off.
Oh yeah,
And Ryan
yeah, it's
Reynolds is just like,
hilarious.
well, he was too much for the movie anyway. So yeah, that was where I stopped.
Yeah, all the digs and everything, dude, that Ryan Reynolds does. He's perfect. It's literally, he makes that movie perfect. He makes that character perfect. He is perfect for that role. I thought it was absolutely awesome. Super cool movie. Watched that at home recently, and so yeah, that was really fun. And on Disney Plus, surprisingly, you know, I feel like that's weird. It's like Disney gets thrown into like the kid category, but then they got Deadpool and Wolverine, which is super brutal. Um, like opens up with a super gory intro, which is hilarious, but um, super cool. Did you ever get around to watching Alien Romulus?
I still have not. I need to. It's finding the right time because no one else in my family wants to watch the movies I like, stuff like that. So it's finding the right time where it's just me,
Yeah,
being able to
right.
watch it.
Well, I definitely recommend that. I saw that that one's up with another two horror films for the Oscars or one of the awards this year, and that hasn't happened in like 30 years or something crazy like that. I saw a
Hmm.
stat on it. I can't remember exactly how many years, but yeah, I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. But I think it holds up, man. It's awesome. The other two in that category were Nosferatu
I want to see
and
that so bad.
another horror film, but I'm forgetting the name. Oh, The Substance. I haven't seen that one yet.
I've heard of it. I kind of want to see it, but I don't really know. From what I hear, they're also paying an homage to some of the shots are almost exactly the same as The Shining.
Mm,
Um, but I don't know too much about that. Nosferatu, I really want to see. Been seeing a lot
yeah,
of buzz
same.
about it. It's Robert Eggers from The Witch. Uh,
Yeah,
Nosferatu's a classic story, and it has the guy from It as the vampire. So I really want to
that's
see it.
cool. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm going to check that one out. It's just a matter of time. Like you said, got to find the alone time whenever the kids aren't awake and watching that. So, yeah.
Yeah. And you can't bring it up with the Deadpool and Wolverine. Do you feel? I feel like there's some of these streaming services algorithms are a little off. Because we have the kids profiles on like Netflix and stuff and other things. But for some reason, some adult shows still get on there. Like the kids got on Netflix the other day, and they're
Hmm.
going through shows, and I'm shooting them down. Like, no, we're not watching Barbie's Funhouse. No, we're not watching. Because I don't like to watch their shows because they'll be there for hours just watching the same this another episode. They
Okay.
went over to one. It's like, what does it say? It's like, well, that's Squid Game. You're not watching Squid Game, and I don't know why it's
Oh
on
my
your
gosh.
profile.
Damn, that's crazy that was on there.
Yeah,
Wow.
which I think is purely just because like the color scheme of the cover and maybe the name. That's the only reason I can think of that why that would be on there. Speaking of
Hmm.
Squid Game, have you watched any Squid Game?
I haven't. I
Have
haven't.
you
I
seen the
heard it's
first
good,
season?
but yeah. No, that's one I have
Ah,
not even seen any of. So
ah,
I
I
kind of
started the
I've
second
gotten the
season.
gist of it, hearing about it, but yeah, I haven't tuned in.
Yeah, I'm on the second season and I'm loving it. I even watched there was a reality show which kind of mimicked it, but for like a game show. Danny even loved that. It's a good show, and I even looked it up. I because the whole show is based on like people
Is that
being in
Mr.
debt.
Beast's show?
No,
Or
it's a different show.
oh,
It's they literally took all the games from the Squid Game and turned it into like a game show, except they don't die.
oh, okay,
Like the red light, green light, they just shoot them with paintball guns and stuff. Yeah. Second season,
cool.
very good. Kind of gets more into like the I guess South Korea issues of why everyone's like okay with playing this game and why everyone has so much debt. So it made me look it up. Do you know South Korea is like I want to say in the top 10 of countries of personal debt, even though it's like
Hmm,
supposed to be like a great country.
really?
I didn't
Oh,
know that. America's like in the
yeah,
50s.
really?
Yeah, we are low.
That's crazy. That's a bizarre stat to me. Wow,
I need
that's
to look up the
surprising.
exact number. We were really low, and it makes me think of how crazy it is in South Korea that people are in that much debt.
Damn, that's nuts. Wow. Yeah, I would have like thought, I mean, it just seems like America's kind of built on credit, so
Yeah, I figured we would be like at least top three, but no, we
yeah,
are.
that's
And I
wild.
guess they base it off of your income. Your if you're a two-person household, that income based then your debt and whatever that percentage is. And like over there, it's like 200% of debt over your income
Wow. Damn,
is the average personal debt.
that's crazy.
Again, this is
Wow.
off the top of my head. I'm sure if someone's listening to this, they're gonna look it up. It's like, no, that's not right. It's in that ballpark.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
fuck you. Uh,
yeah, yeah. I
Um,
recommend Squid Game, just not with the kids around.
yeah, man. Yeah, I'll have to check that one out. I mean, it seems like it's a must watch at this point. Kind of seems like
Hmm.
it's fitting into you know, um, I mean, probably one of the top 10 shows of all time, would you say? Or top 20 at least? I'd say
I
probably.
know right now it's kind of become it's in the zeitgeist. Like it's a very popular show to where there's even like Halloween costumes coming out with it. Very
Yeah.
big in the memes and stuff like that. I've been seeing
Hmm.
because there's a game where they have to do like there's a honeycomb, it's just this dried out honey, and there's a design in it, and they have to take a needle and like get it out without it breaking, any of it breaking. And I've been seeing the metal community kind of going crazy with that, to where he opens up his tin and it's like a slamming death metal band's logo he has to get out.
That's hilarious. That's cool.
Yeah, that's all I got for. You have anything else you want to add before we
No,
go
man,
into discography?
I don't think so, man. Let's do it.
All right. Move you over
The one, the only, Crystal
the
Method
true
from the
Mayhem.
90s.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry. I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of them too recently. Did you ever listen to them?
I listened. You sent me something, and then I went to their Spotify profile and clicked on a random song, and about a couple seconds in, it's like,
It's
oh
like
no, I probably need to
the
sit
Blade.
down and meditate.
It's like the Blade nightclub rave music that you see in the first movie. It's pretty much like that. It's like the
Hmm.
club music from the 90s almost, but they got some really good songs, man, in their discography. It's like a DJ band, you know what I mean? So, um, but damn, I just think they're pretty badass. But yeah, they're playing soon in Illinois. I think in like late February or something. I was contemplating going, but I'm just like, it's kind of that's crazy. It's a rave, so I'm just like, I don't know if I can do that. Like, I like the tunes, but I don't know if I like them that much.
All right, I'm
But
trying to put this
yes,
in order.
Mayhem,
The True Mayhem.
the true Mayhem. Why did they adopt that? I forgot. Like,
I
what
don't
happened?
really know. I thought it was like a joke at first, but I guess it's just on everything now. Like that's just how they advertise. I don't know. I do know there's like a popular DJ that goes with the name of Mayhem that I keep getting notifications of Mayhem is coming to playing a show near you. I get all excited. Then I find out it's this DJ dude. So maybe that has to do with it, kind of help distinguish them. I don't know. But yeah,
Hmm,
Mayhem, the legends of the black metal, uh, whatever pantheon, whatever you want to call it. They are the pillars of black metal.
for
Even
sure.
if you might not, even if you don't like their music, you have to at least give it to Euronymous, who started the band. He very much helped get black metal off the ground, kind of give it a culture and a face. But this band also has a lot of baggage from the early years, which kind of gets it built up to almost like a mythical kind of vibe with this band.
Hmm.
Sometimes it does kind of become the main focus for some people, but just trying to focus on the music for this one. Music's still pretty good. So yeah, it's an
For
exciting
sure.
time. Uh,
Yeah, man.
and
Like one thing with this band is like they've always held, even with all their controversial shit, like there's still like this weird mystique about them, isn't there?
hmm Yeah,
Like they've
and
maintained like this weird mystique that like other bands don't.
hmm yeah, it's and I feel like they sometimes do play off of that just to, for a little bit of marketing, like we've talked about, like with
Hmm.
what's the guy's name? Necro Butcher
Necro
saying
Butcher.
if like right before their album came out, he said if Varg didn't kill Euron or no, if Varg didn't kill Euronymous,
Yeah,
he would have like
I
stuff
would
like
have killed
that
him
playing
myself.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like okay, dude.
Yeah, some of that kind of playing into that mystique a little bit of that man, these guys are fucking crazy. Um
Yeah.
but But yeah, this band, so this guy has two extra things. I don't really want to consider it because for some reason on this it has Live in Leipzig and the Wolf Layer Abyss EP. Um, if we were to
Well, I
conclude,
think that's because it's like that was Dead's first recording, right?
yeah, but at the same time, he's actually on a couple of recordings. Like that might be his first one. I know that's like the big one, but they have so many live albums, especially from
Hmm.
those early days. I feel like
They
if we
do.
include one, we would have to include them all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, um, yeah. And what's crazy is like the lineup change of the vocalists in this band. Like they
hmm
went through several in a short period
hmm
of time, I feel like. So I'm sure some of those live albums are probably for that. Like, well, yeah, this is another live album, but it's with this vocalist. So, and I
hmm
don't even know, I haven't even done the research on what vocalist has done what. So that would just probably be more confusing than anything for this. So yeah.
Yeah, I try not to venture too much into the live albums because I feel like once I've heard one, I've heard most of them. Like obviously you want to hear the ones with Dead on them. And I want to say he's on the one I have, the Dawn of the Black Hearts. I want to say that's Dead's vocals. It's hard to tell because I feel like also with a lot of these live albums, some of them are bootlegs. So it's hard to tell which ones are actually being put out by the band or people just getting the music, getting a vinyl, than the slapping the thing on it. Because I want to say they don't get any money from the Dawn of the Black Hearts EP or album, live album,
Well, and
because
it's not
purely
even on
bootleg.
Spotify, right?
Yeah, which I don't know if
Yeah.
it's, I don't know if they own the rights to it or if it's one of those things like we're not going to put this album artwork on this actual on the internet. Because I want to say even Necro Butcher doesn't like seeing it because Dead was his friend and he hates seeing
Mm,
that picture.
huh.
But with that, I do want to say I was wanting to include Death Crush because even though it's technically not an album, if you want to call it an EP or mini album, I still feel like it's very crucial to the band's discography. So should we start with Death Crush?
Um, yeah, was that before Day Thumb Mysterious?
Yeah. This was with
Oh, okay.
I want to say the only uh members that were actually Mayhem after this were Necro Butcher and Euronymous. The lead singer was, I want to say, Messiah, and the drummer was Mannheim. So I don't even think Hellhammer was in the band yet
Mm,
for this
okay.
album. Um, yeah, very first introduction to Mayhem. I've heard some people say this is more of a death metal album, which I kind of see it, but there's still some black metal stuff in it. Has that weird Sylvester Onfang drum beat, which kind of feels like a warish a little bit, but then also I almost feel a little wacky with how fast and weird the drums go. Like that weird stuff. Then it gets
Mm-hmm.
into the title track, which is my favorite, the Death Crush song. Cool riff. Um, but for me, I feel like this whole thing's a little bit of a mess, especially the vocals. A little weird, but still, it's a good vibe. I love Death Crush, Chainsaw Guts Fuck, pure fucking Armageddon. I'm gonna give this one a 7.
Okay. I'm not too familiar with this one, to be honest. I never really sat through it all the way. I know the songs Death Crush, Chainsaw Guts Fuck, I know that's really popular. Um, but I don't listen to this one a lot. And I mean, it's probably just 'cause it's like so old. It's got that old style quality, obviously. But super raw, and just very aggressive for its time for sure. So, but really cool. They definitely kind of capture the Mayhem vibes, especially with the riffage and stuff. So, um, yeah, I would give it a 7.
Okay, put this right here. All right. Up next. So, if anyone knows Mayhem, there's a lot that happens between this release and the next release. They get their core lineup. They get Dead, Euronymous, uh, Necro Butcher, and Hellhammer. Uh, play a couple shows. Some could become live albums. Dead kills himself. Necro Butcher quits the band because he's pissed at Euronymous for taking pictures of it. They hire Varg Returns, the infamous black metal man from also Burzum, who, oh, and Attila Cesar. Uh,
Mm,
and At one point, Varg just decides to just straight up murder Euronymous. Uh, but, but
cool.
right before that happened, they recorded this album. There was a delay because of the murder, and I guess there was, I don't know if it was legal issues, but supposedly, I think it was Euronymous' parents did not want Varg's recordings on the album, but they're still on the album. And that is the album De Mysterious Dom Sathanas.
Mm,
Uh,
yes,
Amazing album.
super badass.
Yes, this is features a lot of their hits, in my opinion. It's gotta go to it real quick. But yeah, it has a bunch of great songs, classics on it. It has
Freezing
Funeral
Moon.
Fog, Freezing Moon, Life Eternal, Buried by Time and Dust, and then also the title track. This is what black metal. This kind of sets the standard for black metal. Even though this was released later, this came out in 1994, so there'd already been a lot of black metal releases. Emperor had already started doing their thing and releasing stuff. Dark Throne was doing the same thing. I want to say Burzum probably released like 3 or 4 albums in this time period because uh, he was getting money from Euronymous, and it's probably a lot easier to get the band together when it's just you and Burzum. But I do love this album. This was
I do too.
one of the first vinyls I got because I love this. Um,
Good choice, man. That's a
one of
that's
my
an
older
awesome
ones.
album.
Uh,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna give this one. Uh, I'm gonna give this a 9.4.
Nice. Yeah, man. Front to back, this is definitely a classic and very easy to listen to. I think it's a flawless record, man. And I think I go back and forth on my favorite songs. I would say it's either Freezing Moon or De Mysterious Doms Donis. And it's just like that last one is just so brutal, especially how he opens up with the almost like a freaking cat like snarl growl thing, like "Rah!" and then it like kicks into it. Like, oh, it's so badass though. And then he like goes into his weird, it's just so cool. But yeah, dude, hell of an album. Um, yeah, it's gonna be yeah, I'm gonna do a 9. I'll do a 9.4 on it
Okay,
also.
so we're at an 18.8. One of the weirdest rankings we've had for an album. But
Yeah, it is.
let's let's see if anything can beat it. Up next, 6 years later, um,
Wow.
they have now at this point replaced their singer. For some reason, Attila left, and they replaced him with Maniac, and they replaced Uranus with Blasphemer. Um, and for the new millennium, they released what I think is probably the best timeline to release an album title like this, and that is the Grand Declaration of War.
Oh, dude.
Very good idea for a 2000 release. Um,
Yeah, super sick.
this is an album I originally did not like, but as time has gone on, I actually do really like this one. Um, it's a very epic vibe. There is
Mm-hmm.
some experimentation. I want to say, what's the one that has, it's almost like a techno that does like that.
Yeah, a blood sword, I
Yeah, and a
think.
colder sun.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's
then
like
it has the weird like scientists didn't know, but that
yeah.
little and it's like I
Yeah.
still don't like those parts, but this album is actually great. It's just those weird parts in there I don't like.
Y- Yeah, he kind of does like a Harry Potter like Slytherin kind of style vocal
Hmm.
to that. So it's definitely weird, but it was a weirdness that I'd never heard before. And so for that reason, I don't know, I was kind of intrigued. Um and a weird route change. That's what is so weird with this band is like the different stuff that they've done and how they still have maintained such a huge following and fan base. It's like through all the changes, through all the lineup changes, music style even, and with this album, definitely a route change than the previous album. So like it doesn't sound like the same band. It's definitely a cleaner production. But like you said, couldn't have been a more fitting title to open up the year 2000 with. And it literally sounds like what the album is called, which is a grand declaration of war. Like you have Hellhammer coming in with like the snare, the percussion, style kind of like
Hmm.
war march stuff, and then badass vocals and music behind it, dude. And he almost like brings those elements throughout the entire album, which is what I love. He does like the whole snare percussion. I don't know what you call those. It's driving me nuts,
Kind
but
of like a drumline style drum.
rolls, yeah, yeah, drum lines kind of stuff. And so, but does that throughout the album, man. It encases the vibe of it perfectly. But a badass album, dude. I fell in love with this one, and I really love the cover too, which is like this. I think it's a dove, a white
Yeah, dove
dove,
and barbed wire.
dove like kind of wrapped up in barbed wire. Looked brutal as hell. But like a
Yeah.
real picture, it's gnarly. But yeah, just brutal, dude. Super sick album. One of my favorites, to be honest. I would give this one a 9.5, to be honest. Yeah, I love it, dude.
Okay. I do like this album. I actually, so you mentioned the album art. I ended up buying the vinyl of the re-release. It's the remix and remastered with different artwork. I actually kind of like
Oh
the other
yeah, okay.
artwork better with
With that one,
kind of a yeah, the kind of a black and white Jesus. It looks like
that
he
one is cool.
yeah, with the I don't know if it's a dead dove or what, but it looks like he's also wearing the crown of thorns, so he's already been through the torture. I don't know.
Oh
I think
yeah,
that also fits pretty well with the whole title as well. But either or, both album covers are great. Um, I probably am gonna rank this high. It's just there are some parts that I'm not too into. Like I said, a blood sword and colder sun. But there are some parts I think, because Attila does some weird things with his vocals. Maniac does too, but I feel like I like it when Maniac does it more than when Attila does his weird stuff, like the where he does the kind of almost chant stuff and just kind of yelling stuff in this
yeah,
album. It feels like a
yeah, dude.
general is trying to get his troops excited, stuff for this grand
Yeah,
declaration. So I think it fits great.
for sure.
But with that, I'm probably gonna give this a 9. Uh, so
Okay.
that you had a 9.5.
Yeah,
We're gonna be right at 18.5.
nice.
All right.
And I think that they had the issues with him being the front man is I think he went through a spell of really bad alcoholism and was
Mm-hmm.
kind of abusive behind the scenes and stuff. And I think they've made statements on that. Like he was so bad one time he fell down like a flight of stairs going, to the stage or something like that. Something to that effect. I can't remember exactly. So don't quote me, but I know that they had some sort of issues like that, and that was the biggest reason for him leaving. Because I want to say this is the only album with him on it. Is that right? Or did he
I
do
I
Chimera too?
I think he did Chimera as well, but I have
Yeah,
heard
you
all
might be
that
right.
same stuff. And I know he was also kind of in the vein of Dead. He did a lot of the like self-cutting stuff on stage. And I even saw
Yeah,
some videos where he would like actually do it. And in fact, I want to say that's even the cover of European Legions. I think that's no, it's I guess it's not. No, it's one of their live albums that has him on the cover with the knife on his ribs, to where he's doing one of
wow.
his self-mutilations on stage. He was an insane person, and I think he fit the vibe good with the band. But like you said,
Yeah, for sure.
the alcoholism and kind of the behind the scenes stuff kind of caused issues. So I understand why him leaving was kind of necessary. Um,
Hmm.
and that brings us to uh, a very another. So you brought it up. It almost feels like every album they change so
Yeah,
drastically. And that's the same with this 2004 Chimera or Chimera. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I
And
think
I
it's
feel like there's a
Chimera.
lot of, yeah, Chimera. And I feel like there's a lot of people who don't like this album because of the change, but it's great. Pretty much take the black metal and add a lot of death metal into it, and it
Yeah,
works great. Has still has
dude.
that brittle guitar tone where it sounds like almost like ice, like it's gonna break at any second. Especially with that opening chord in the opening song "Whore." That yeah, it's
Yeah, dude.
and then my favorite song on this album is "Dark Night of the Soul" with that
Yeah,
ah,
it's
it's so
so
great.
groovy, dude.
It got me
It's
sold
it,
right there.
I know, dude. It's so weird, but they did black metal groove perfectly. Like this is the
Mm-hmm.
grooviest black metal I've ever heard. Like throughout the whole album too, there's elements of groove. Like Dark Night of the Soul especially, but then My Death I think gets super groovy and like they just do a lot, crazy different stuff. Like there's a very small amount of black metal in this one. I mean, it's there, but it's just definitely a different style. And the
Mm-hmm.
production's clear again, like Grand Declaration of War, but I'd say even more like kind of produced sound. Um, but the album cover, dude, is just it's haunting. Like it's just that guy, like the creepy, like devil looking dude in the shadow. And eerie as hell. Like it looks like one of
Mm-hmm.
those photos that was captured in like 1930 that you can like barely make out, but
Mm-hmm.
looks legit. Super creepy. But my favorite. I mean, I don't know hardcore Mayhem fans out there. They might hate this one, but I love it. I really do. This is honestly my 10 because front to back, I love every single song on this album. My favorites are Horror, Dark Night of the Soul, Rape Humanity with Pride, My Death, You Must Fall. Literally just, back to back to back. Epic songs, dude. I love it. Love
Mm-hmm.
it all.
And we even talked a little bit before earlier today about even the title track. I never noticed it until a couple days ago going through this. Like Chimera's riff, Chimera's riff, the title track is pretty much it sounds like it's a culmination of all the different riffs. It even has like because I recognize it would sound like the Dark Night of the Soul riff, but all this other stuff added on to it. It's like, oh, is this just all the riffs? It's almost like this was the starting point. It's like, all right, let's break this riff down, make this song. It's a great album, great idea, and I feel like it's even you brought it up. It's groove. It's hard to make. I feel like it's hard to with groove. There's always a little bit of a warmness to the
Hmm.
riffs. But with Mayhem, they never have a warm sounding guitar. It's always cold and brittle sounding.
Yeah.
So for them to be able to pull this off, still make it groove, still make it have that kind of a black, cold, brittle
Still
sound.
eerie. Yeah.
hmm It works so great, and hats off to them for pulling it off. I'm gonna give this, um, I'll probably give this a 9.8.
Nice.
So
Damn. That's cray cray. But I definitely support it. I was really hoping, I mean, they might have done this. They might have released a new vinyl for Chimera last year, but I totally missed it if they did. But they had the perfect opportunity, 20-year anniversary.
yeah,
That would have been super sick.
I know they came out with merch for it. I don't know if they re-released it or not. I wish they would do a tour with it, because I don't know how many times they've
Yeah,
toured with Dom, Mysterious de Satanas, or whatever it is.
yeah, right. Yeah, 'cause I think that's what they played on the tour we saw them at,
Yeah,
right?
I think they might have played My Death, but I think that was the only song they played from this. And did
Hmm.
they play anything from Grand Declaration? I can't remember.
No, I don't think they did.
Then I don't think they played anything. So that's gonna move us on to this next one. Again, experimentation. Maniac left, and they got Attila back, and
Yeah, this was
this
the
is
big reunion.
2007's Ordo ad Chaos. This is the most experimental they've gone, and to the point where I'm just going to be blunt. I hate this album. Um, I what I've tried, even going back through this, I'll listen to this whole album. I do not like this album. What's your thoughts on this album?
Um, I think the one song that gets through is Psychic Horns.
hmm
Um, other than that, which that one's even weird, but yeah, like you said, man, it's very weird and experimental. I remember whenever he joined or he comes back, like they were in a magazine, Attill's back, new album, Order at Chow, or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know. Um, he was totally like dropped the corpse paint and everything, and they just look like a death metal band. I was like, huh, that's weird. And then the album came out, and I was like, huh, that's weird. Like same reaction. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they were going for. Um, Kind of hard to tell what they even wanted to do, what they were doing. Um, very, yeah, it missed me, man. Very skippable in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not memorable. Psychic Horns, like I said, weird song, but that one is like I remembered the title. Um, but yeah, so I don't know. I'd probably give that one a 6.
think I'm gonna give this one a 4. I just did not enjoy this at all. I think there was like every now and then there'd be parts where Hellhammer was like, "Oh, he's doing something cool. Hopefully the band follows." And then, sure enough, just back into weird, slow stuff. I don't know what they were going for. Uh, I want to like it, but I can't.
Yeah, right. Even the
Yeah,
cover's kind of lame. Like some weird ass symbol.
yeah.
Like, what is this? Is this greater than, less than, against each other? Like, what are we doing?
Well, you would
I
figure,
mean,
I would figure like there'd be
I'm
some
sure it
kind of
means something,
theme.
but yeah, I don't know.
It just feels like a mess.
Well, I think I looked it up and it's order to chaos in French or something like that. And that was a long ass time ago, but so I could be totally wrong, but I don't
Oh,
know.
just a second.
Okay.
Because we only have what, 2 albums left after this. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Up next, so Ordo ad Chaos had come out eventually. Then I eventually found the band. So obviously I was excited. Then I listened to the that newest album, Ordo ad Chaos. I was like, ah, this sucks. Then 2014 rolls along, and we are graced with Esoteric Warfare.
Yeah.
Um, Very cool idea, like with the themes, at least in the cover. I love the cover. And it kind of
Hmm.
gives a vibe of almost like kind of like a conspiracy theory stuff, but also like the evils of like nuclear bombs and stuff, kind of touching on like Oppenheimer kind of stuff, which is even quoted. He's quoted in I think the song Trinity. Again, that's also a quote to Oppenheimer's test site for the nuclear bomb. Um, this
Hmm.
album starts off great with Watchers.
Dude, oh, I love that.
Yeah,
And
it's a
like how Hellhammer just like you just hear his kicks like slowly
yeah.
coming into it. Oh, it's so badass. Yeah. Such a
Yeah,
great idea.
it's great. I remember that was the first song I ever tried to learn by not looking up the tabs, just learning up music theory and then watching it was a guitar they had a new guitarist. I want to say it was Ghoul and Talak. Talak is big on YouTube. I watched him do a cover guitar playthrough, so I just tried to learn music theory, watch him play and figure it out that way.
Oh,
Great
okay.
song. And then it goes into War, very similar. Both of them kind of one. I want to say Watchers is more aliens esque, but or War is more of conspiracy theory esque.
Yeah.
Trinity, awesome. Kind of combining that nuclear with satanicism. Pandemon was okay, but then after that, I feel like the second half of the album kind of goes back into Ordo ad Chaos a little bit. Very
Yeah.
slow, experimental, so it kind of falls off for me. I don't know. For me, like I said, the first half of the album, great. Uh, so I'm probably gonna give this a an 8. What about you? What's your thoughts on this album?
Yeah, man, I'm right there with you. Super strong start, dude. Like I love Watchers. I love that song so much. It's just because it's so different in its own way, like, but it's still Mayhem, and they remind us that in this song and in this album, it was very refreshing coming after that Order to Chow, whatever the hell. Um, so super pumped on that. And then War, really badass. Is that the one where towards the end of the song it's like Or is that Watchers?
I think that is Cywar. Because if Cywar
Okay.
even had a, I want to say a music video for it as well. Like that was like the
Okay.
big single.
Okay. Yeah. There's one where he's like chanting like a word, like high screams, but it's like super badass. But yeah, man. Um, super sick start. And about midway, like you said, it kind of falls off for me too. I'm right there with you. So, I would give this one an 8.4.
Okay.
Would you give it?
I think I gave an 8, maybe.
Okay. And then they dropped three, not one, not two, but three live albums. De Mysterious Dom Sathanas Alive, Live in Sarpsborg, Live in Jessheim.
Yeah.
Like,
There,
geez, dude,
there's
come
too
on.
much.
Yeah, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, I always wonder, like, are those selling? Like, are those really like,
They appear to be selling, I guess. I don't know. They're still on their web store. And then you can even buy them in packs to where it's like a couple $100 where you can get like 3 or 4 of these live albums on vinyl with like extra stuff like the lyrics hand drawn or handwritten and stuff, pictures of the hen house where Euronymous and Dead were living at and stuff like that. They
hmm,
even had one as like the hen house sessions, so like the demos that they were recording over there. But
wow,
I don't know. I don't get why they do so many. It's unnecessary.
yeah,
But yeah, that leads us up to the most recent one. It's been 6 years. I would say they're due. However, as you've seen with this Mayhem discography, they're very random when it comes to time. It's just whenever they feel like it. And that is going to be 2019's Daemon. Uh, this feels kind of a return to their roots. Very much
yeah,
just
for
kind of
sure.
straightforward black metal. Even with just the cover, the title, uh, it just feels like this is the Mayhem that everyone originally loved. Even with the singles, I remember they came out with The Dying False King, and then Falsified and Hatred. Like this was a uh, big release. Everyone was kind of expecting it or very excited about it because it seemed like Mayhem had gone back to their early black metal roots. And I do like this album. I do wish I listened to it more. I don't listen to it that often, um,
Mhm.
but it is a good album. Going back through, I would say probably favorite songs would probably be Bad Blood, Falsified and Hatred. And I want to say I did love also Of Worms and Ruins. Um, I'm probably going to give this one an I'll give I'll give this one a flat 9.
Okay.
What's your opinions on this one?
I liked it, man. Yeah, it's like you said, it definitely sounds like they're kind of back to their roots in this one, doing the black metal thing, and it's just kind of full swing, like it's like the old school black metal mayhem that you can imagine, that kind of steering clear of that whole groove era or that 2000 millennium era, those couple albums, not really any kind of vibes of that at all here. Blast beats and riffage, and then Attila doing the solid black metal screams. I mean, it's just an all around solid black metal, album. I don't really know how other else to put it than that, but I want to say Damon Spawn of Worms and Ruin.
Just
Uh,
Demon Spawn.
yeah, Damon Spawn. And then there's a bonus track, Everlasting Dying Flame. Dude, that is a sick song. I just threw that on now just to remember that one, but I do remember liking that one. But yeah, just an all-around solid album with a, classic sound. It just, as far as like sticking with my memory and stuff, it just not really there. I have to force myself to go back to this one. But all in all, I think it's good, man. But I think I would probably give it an 8.
Okay. So that moves us over to a 17. All right. That's all of them. And also we have a pretty close top three. with Chimera at number one with a 19.8. De Mi- De Mysterious Dom Sathanas at number two with an 18.8. Grand Declaration of War with an 18.5 at number three.
Wow, it's
I'm
pretty
good with
sick.
that.
I am too, man. That's awesome. Those are great albums. I love that top
Mhm.
three.
So I do hope Mayhem does something more this year.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Hopefully makes a new album, but we will see. Because they
Yeah, though.
technically, it's, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Um, they're pretty much due. It's been 6 years, but I don't know. Never know with this band. They do
Yeah.
spotty tours. Like I remember last year, they announced 3 dates and said, or no, they said we're doing a North American tour. Get excited! And it's 3 dates. And
Yeah.
what are we supposed to do with this? Uh, Apparently, they did announce they are doing another tour in North America this year, a little bit more expansive with Imperial Triumphant. Uh, but again, nowhere near here.
Mm,
I think I commented that they could stop by Lawrence between Minnesota and Colorado because they have a free day in between, but doubtful. We'll see.
huh. That'd be interesting. Yeah, man. It reminded me, I couldn't help but think, when you say Chimera, it kind of sounds like that's what America would be called if China invaded and took over.
Chimerica.
Chimera. Yeah.
So I know people are talking about like the possibility of Canada becoming America or Mexico becoming Canada. Imagine if we did somehow become have another country from across the world become America. How would that work out with
Hmm.
if we
Like what we just get like free like tourist rights or something or
I don't know how we own Hawaii and Alaska, like there's these random parts that aren't really technically connected to us. Like if we
yeah.
somehow for some reason started owning Indonesia or
Yeah.
New Zealand, like that's ours now. So now you have uh
Yeah.
East Coast timeline, you have Central timeline, Mountain time, West
And I
time.
guess they just become a state and not a country or
I don't know, because isn't that what he's talking about with like Greenland?
yeah, I guess. I don't know, is that still a thing? Is he
From what I hear, yeah, but from what I understand, negotiations are not going well.
Yeah, and it
Because from what
sounds
I
like the
understand,
people do not want it.
yeah, from what I understand, so Greenland does want independence from the Dutch, but they don't want to be owned by America either. They want to be their own thing.
Hmm.
And from what I understand, I guess President Trump got in a very angry, fiery phone call, is what the article said with them. But I did also hear there's
Angry,
a
fiery phone call.
yeah, that's how it described it. But I did hear an audio clip. There was I don't know if it was a Dutch or if it was a Greenland politician, but there was a parliament, and they had to tell him to not use that language. They told him to fuck off was their quote, and they said
Wow.
that language is not tolerated, but we all agree.
That's funny. That's hilarious. So, what's wrong with Greenland as a country? I guess are we just saying, hey, you all can't do this shit on your own. You're too
We
small.
want their resources. They
Yeah,
have, I think, lithium mines or something. They have some type of mines of a certain, uh,
battery thing.
yeah, that we want for our chips.
Mm,
And it's the worry that if we don't, from my the the defense I've heard in favor of trying to do it is because if we don't, Russia or China might try to.
mm,
But at the same time, why don't you just offer them protection kind of thing? If that and just have good trades with them. Like we don't have to own them.
yeah, right. Yeah, but I mean, if they were part of the country, I guess we could then, there's that security that, it's our forces there, then we start setting up shop at our forces and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a
I mean,
country runner, so
we could always set up like a base probably there. We have bases in almost
yeah,
every
I
country,
mean, there's probably one there already. I mean,
probably. But I
yeah,
mean,
it's
I don't
weird.
know. I think, in my
I don't know.
opinion, if that's your worry, maybe you should make a deal to where we get cheaper access to the whatever those mines have in exchange for defense of them, kind of thing. Kind of
Hmm.
like how we did with Ukraine. Like they do something for us, we do something for them. So something like that, I think would be good and diplomatic instead of become us or we will invade you.
Yeah, yeah. No shit. Do you think it could lead to invasion? That would be
I don't
fucking
know
crazy.
because yeah,
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I don't
that's
know.
that's all I got for
Well,
Mayhem. You have anything else for Mayhem?
nothing else for Mayhem. Just wanted to shout out that it is 11:34 right now here in Missouri, United States, and the newest Behemoth single just dropped on Spotify. The Shit of God is out right now.
Really?
Yes, it
Really?
is on Spotify. Yep. You can listen to it right after we get off here.
Yes, we can't for rights issues because then we won't be able to post on YouTube,
Yeah.
but we probably both will listen to this. And yeah, it is also your turn to pick what band we do next.
Ooh. Hmm. Let's see here. I'll give you two.
Okay.
Two that are in a group together. Well, in a category. Two that are in the big four.
Oh, okay.
Metallica or Slayer.
Um, I think
I don't
I'm
know
more.
if there's a lot of death metal fans that are going to be dying to hear either one of those, but yeah, you know what? They're historic bands, so
Well,
I
also
think
I
they need
feel
to be
like
talked about.
those two bands I feel like are universal when it comes to metal, especially since those two
For
bands
sure.
were before death metal and kind of influenced death metal wanted to be extreme, especially Slayer wanted to be more extreme, where Motorhead or Metallica was more of like getting metal more on the map and also just at that time creating great catchy songs that were also epic. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know. For me, Slayer's discography, I can listen to just about anything. Metallica, there's a falling off point a little bit.
Mm. Fuel.
But huh? Give me fire, give me that which I saw. Um, let's do Metallica.
Okay.
Now
Uh,
with Metallica,
yeah.
should we maybe decide? I don't think we should consider the S&M albums. Would you agree? That's where they just have the symphonic. They play their normal songs, but they have symphony with them.
Oh yeah, no, fuck all that.
And what about Lulu, which is the collaboration album they did with Lou Reed?
Sounds like no to me.
Okay. Okay.
We
All
got to
right.
keep
I'm
it
good
metal.
then. All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Um,
do probably Kill 'Em All, Master or Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All, the Black Album, Load, Reload, Saint Anger, the best of them all, Death Magnetic.
yeah. And then,
What's that other one called?
oh,
The one with
Hardwired,
yeah,
or
Hardwired Self-Destruct, and then their new one, 72 Seasons. Those are the only ones we're doing?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we can do that. Let's do Metallica.
Future disclaimer. I think I'm going to rank the Black Album higher than, I'm just throwing this out there. I love Metallica, and like, you hear the Black Album songs on the radio, but it's good, man. you know? So just saying, future disclaimer, don't make fun of me because I love the Black Album, but whatever. I don't really give a shit either. So
I am interested to see your number one because I have a number one. It's been my number one since I've heard it, but it seems to, and I always get in arguments when someone says another album. So eager to see
okay.
what where you rank my number one and the debate that might ensue because I've
Yeah.
debated people with this album.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested. I mean, Garage Inc., hands down.
I don't think I've ever actually listened to that. Isn't that just a bunch of demos or?
I, I don't know. I don't. I just think it was in their bad era. But yeah,
Hmm,
we'll discuss it next week, I guess. So
I gotcha. All right. So next week we're doing the legendary Metallica.
yeah.
Yeah, until then, you can check us out on Spotify. Make sure you check out all of our old episodes if you want to. See what tickles your fancy. You can figure out what it's
Yep,
about by the description of the title. And if you like it, you can subscribe. If you don't like it, subscribe. Just hate follow us. I don't know. You can also leave a review and a comment. You can also check us out on Apple Podcasts or wherever else you consume your podcasts. We're everywhere. We're also on
for sure.
Facebook, TikTok, and that's it for the social
Ooh,
media.
we are
So,
still on TikTok, huh?
mhm. I just got
Well,
on my laptop because that's the only way I can get on it right now. Because
oh, you
government.
know those devices are going for like $2,000 on eBay.
What are?
Devices with TikTok on it downloaded. People are going nuts. They need their
Really?
TikToks, man. Yeah, they
I
need to
mean,
see the death metal daddies on there.
I heard that isn't number one reason. That's the only reason Trump brought it back.
Yeah,
I heard there was the death metal daddies. People wanted the death
I
metal daddies.
they said they wanted the death metal daddies. I
And
didn't
I
go for the
brought it
death metal
back to
daddies,
them.
but they can have the death metal daddies, so I brought it back to them. Whatever. That's
I
America's
walked in,
podcast.
I walked in the room and said, wow, that's a lot of death metal daddy fans.
I wouldn't call them the best fans, but they're good fans.
But yeah, you can check us out on those social media platforms, or you can even just go the old-fashioned way, not through snail mail, but through Gmail. You can email us at
Mm.
deathmetaldies@gmail.com. Uh, Other than that, I think
Oh,
that's all the
shut.
plugs I got for you. Um, yeah,
I
until
think
then,
that's it.
see you next time.
See you next time. Go Chiefs. When you say chimera, it kind of sounds like that's what America would be called if China invaded and took over.
Chimerica.